What's up, guys? Bloodshed here. Welcome to episode 19 of the Bludd Heart Podcast. If you're new here, welcome. What we do is talk about all things Diablo 3 related. And normally we branch out. Like at the end, I'll talk about other stuff. But we've had a lot of content lately. Like we had the PTR last week. So I've been testing it all weekend. I probably put about 40 hours or so on the PTR. So this is like a patch note follow-up to last week where we're going to talk about how things went with everything. You know, before it was like we got the patch notes and we theory crafted. Now it's like I got to put that in action and actually get my hands on it, play it, absorb it, and then I can relay that information back to you guys. So this will be another non-format type episode. It'll be just me talking about my experiences on the PTR and how everything's going. We found out what the pet and portrait frame are. The pet is a little Tyrael goblin. It looks kind of cute, man. A lot of people like the pet. And then the portrait frame is also like an angelic, regal kind of portrait frame. And then, of course, the two new sets we found out. Like, you can always check my video on the channel if you want to see what all these look like. And then, you know, there's a set based around Tyrael. It's called Patterns of Justice, and it has like Tyrael's pattern on it. And then there's an Imperia set for the Crusader. So there's a very angelic theme across the board. Even the Killstreak bonus has angels that descend upon the battlefield to fight. So it's kind of cool. It looks like Blizzard put together a very cohesive season in terms of an actual theme on top of everything. So, you know, kudos. We're noticing it. We appreciate the effort. Let's talk about the Killstreaks itself. So the Killstreaks are really strong. Some of them are like super strong. If I can find a clip, I'll put it in the description of the video. There's like, you know, people one-shotting 150 Guardians, 130 Guardians with the Angels. So to get to 400 and 500 kills is relatively easy in a Greater Rift. You can kind of, like the Greater Rifts are laid out a lot better than regular Torment levels. And yeah, you're pretty much going to get to 400 or 500 every single time, unless you get a really, really bad luck or something like that. But, you know, it's the PTR, and that should be the theme for the rest of the podcast, is that it's the PTR. Things are going to get changed and adjusted and fixed. Blizzard has all the data. They have all of our feedback to go off of to make the set as balanced as possible. Like right now, the seasonal theme is just absolutely bonkers. A lot of the stuff is too strong or not strong enough. So the Angels is one thing that hits super hard. I mean, it's just destroying things, one-shotting basically everything. The Meteors are really good. The Ring of Fire at 300 kills, which I showcased in our patch video. Yeah, the Ring of Fire actually kills your teammates. So it's kind of funny, man. I'll try to put some more clips in the description for you guys. I know Lexi made a video saying that, you know, PvP is here in Diablo 3 because you can actually PvP your friends with the little ring of fire that shoots out. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know if that's intended or not. As of right now, I would assume that it's not intended, especially on hardcore. You're basically, it just kills hardcore groups. So I'm not going to get upset because I'm assuming that's a bug and not intended. That's what the PTR is for, to fix these things. But overall, the seasonal theme is very fun, and it kind of pushes you forward like we thought. Like when you're getting a kill streak, you just want to keep going, keep going. You're hungry for that next perk that you get, right? Like a kill streak, like a Call of Duty kill streak. It's really awesome. So good job with the theme. I'm very happy with it, but the numbers do need to get tweaked. A lot of people are hella upset about the 1,000 kill streak. At 1,000 kills, spoilers, skip ahead like 20 seconds, right? At 1,000 kills, you get like a satanic fire chain symbol. That's it. It's kind of underwhelming. It's really underwhelming. I'll be honest. But I'm also honest with myself that I know we're never going to come across this. The only way that we were getting it was to do like 500 or 600 in the Rift, and then to port to your friend or port to a cow level and then get another 400. Or, you know, get 400 in the Rift and then go to like the Cursed Chest event and then get 400, 500, 600 there. So you have to really go out of your way to get it. And it might have been better if they didn't even tell us there was 1,000 kill streak, and then we just maybe theory crafted on our own and then found out, you know, because I think it set an expectation with the kill streak, like it was going to be this cool thing, and like, you know, Kane's going to come back from the grave, or Uber Diablo's going to stomp around and dab on people. Like I guess your mind goes wild when you don't know. So I would say, like, thank you, Blizzard, for making something, but you know, it obviously is underwhelming. But on the flip side, like I said, we're never going to come across this in our day to day. It's just there as an Easter egg. So it was almost like setting the expectation too high, you know, when in our minds or whatever. I guess I have mixed feelings about the whole thing. Let me know what you think in the comments down below on YouTube, or tweet at me what you think about it. Like, we're never going to come across this, right? So it's not literally never going to affect us. So it's like, does it really matter, you know? All right, time for more feedback. Basically, more feedback corner with Blood. The Crusader set, I really think it's fun to play. A lot of people in the community do not like it. Okay? It's for me, it's very like Thor, Odin, Thunder God. Like, you really feel to me like it hits the theme that we might not have across the board. It's like, it plays like Hoda, where you just hold down your spender and move to Oculus rings, but it looks really cool. It might be a little overboard visually, but I would just say play Hoda then, if it's too, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of the things people are saying is it's just too noisy, it lags a little bit. I don't notice any lag. I do have a 2080 graphics card though, so maybe I don't see it. And a lot of people are saying that it's kind of boring to play, which it's just like Hoda or multi-shot, where you just position yourself and use spenders, you know? So I guess for me, I'm a little bit more glass half full. I think it's fun. It looks cool visually. I do have a video on it if you want to see the gameplay yourself. And I like it, man. I think it's dope. And all it needs is buffs, right? The 4-piece is easy to keep up. It's actually not 5 seconds. It's 10 seconds. And the residual damage does proc your 4-piece. So when you cast Fist of Heavens, it kind of lingers on the battlefield. And last week I thought that it would be hard to keep up, but you know, because it was only 5 seconds, but it's actually 10 seconds. And it lingers and procs. So you basically never have to worry about the 4-piece. The 2-piece procs enough, and the 6-piece just needs to be stronger. And if the 6-piece goes to, like, say 20,000% damage for Fist of Heavens, I think we'll have a decent build on our hands. It'll be good for speeds and pushing. And I did offer feedback in the video as well, or you can just buff like the existing items. So I did talk about it in the Crusader video, and I wanted about 20% more reduced resource costs on the cassette belt as well. But both of the sets are underperforming. The new Crusader set, the new Monk set, big time. They need buffs. But in the back of my mind, I know it's the PTR, and this is not the final patch notes. So we're just waiting to see what they decide on. The Monk set, I just said it was bad. It's bad. It's the worst set in the game, basically bad. But, you know, Patterns of Justice, I still think that's a bad name too. I should be called Winds of Justice or something like that. But I do get it. It's based like Tyrael. It's Patterns of Tyrael, I guess. But nobody thinks about that when we think about the sets, right? The 2-piece sweeping. So I'll give you the TLDR on this Patterns of Justice. The only thing that gets a damage boost is Sweeping Winds. And Sweeping Winds doesn't do enough damage, right? The 6-piece, when you're using Tempest Rush, you increase the radius of Sweeping Winds, but you don't get any Tempest Rush buffs. So you could say that the 6-piece now affects Tempest Rush and Sweeping Winds, and it's increased to like 15,000 damage. Like, that would help, and that would make it a TR/Sweeping Winds build. But that would also take away the freedom we have, because right now with Sweeping Winds, you can use any skills you want, or, you know, it's just using the winds to do damage. But if you want to make it a TR build, then that's cool with me. Just, you have to buff Tempest Rush, you know? The 4-piece, Sweeping Winds increase your movement speed, and the 2-piece, you get every rune. I think you should condense those two to one tier. And then the 4-piece has to be some kind of survivability, in my opinion, just like a stacking damage increase every time Sweeping Winds hits a target or something like that. I know it's kind of whatever, but we need to survive. The set's really squishy. If you don't do that, then give it some kind of damage buff that buffs another skill like Tempest Rush, or, you know, double the damage of Sweeping Winds when you do something. Like, it needs more. It needs the most help. Satyr just needs buffs, in my opinion, but the monk needs to be like rearranged, and like, it doesn't need to be overhauled completely. I like doing damage with Sweeping Winds, but it needs to be basically overhauled completely, I guess. The Dark Light needs a buff. Eye of the Storm, Sweeping Winds hits one enemy. Its damage is increased by 100%. Probably needs a buff. Like, it's really useless most of the time. Like, you don't always get Guardians with no ads, or you don't always have an elite left over. So it's like not, I would just use like Strong Arms or something over Eye of the Storm in the cube. Vengeful Wind got buffed for Sweeping Wind damage. So it looks like they want Sweeping Wind damage to be the main source. It's just not hitting hard enough. It's a low multiplier, and it needs to be like hardcore affected by attack speed or something. Sweeping Wind set does shoot out these like twisters. You could have the 4-piece buff the twisters also. That might be something that you could do. I haven't spent too much time with Chantoto's Resolve, but I can tell you on the leaderboards, there's a bunch of people with 1,000 Paragon, and they broke GR 120, like 120, 121, and no augments. So they're doing really well, low gem levels and everything. It doesn't look to be that bad for Veers, but again, I don't know the nitty gritty on that. That's one thing I'll probably test on stream today. All right, the Wrath of the Waste set. Okay, so let's talk about Barbarians. If you're watching this video, you might have seen all of my Barb content up to this point. Barb has 3 viable builds because of this patch. It's the season of Barbarian, right? Sescheron's Soldiers. So you can play Whirlwind Barb. It's insanely powerful. The best build in the game. Really performing insanely well. There's even going to be like a speed meta around Barbarian. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't even get adjusted, or there's no like, minor adjustments or anything like that, just because, I don't know, it seems like it's intended. Like, you guys want Barb, you guys got Barb. If you ever said they're not listening to the community, well, we've been begging for Barb buffs, and this has been like crazy amounts of buffs. So the Whirlwind set, I have a video on it. I put it out today, doing insane damage with Wrath of the Waste, Lamentation Belt, Ambo's Pride. It's really fun to play also. I never thought I would like Rend before, but yeah, it's fun because you're still whirlwinding. And when you're whirlwinding, you're getting the fantasy of Whirlwind Barb, and you're applying the Rend. And Rend is like a deep wound effect, almost like in World of Warcraft, they have deep wounds, right? There's a lot of games where Barbs hit and cause enemies to bleed. It really hits the class fantasy, in my opinion, for Barbarian and whirlwinding and cutting and all that stuff. And it's it's the best build in the game. I promise you. It's really good. Some people say Bazooka is still better, but I don't know, man. We'll see. Either way, it's in that S+ tier, like God tier. And we have Seismic Slam. Lots of Seismic Slam buffs came through, and Seismic Slam is insanely good. It has the Fjord Cutter got buffed by 50% attack speed, and it doubled the amount of enemies affected by Seismic Slam. And it's insane, dude. If you say the Barb is like a 140 GR viable build, Seismic Slam is in the low 130s. Really powerful, fast. In the low 130s is basically like top 10 build in the game. Or yeah, around that top 10 area. Really powerful build. Fun. I have a video on that. Another build is Lan Hoda caught a buff. I feel like it's stronger than it should be. But Lan Hoda, if Seismic Slam's in the low 130s, Hoda is probably like 130 flat, like in that barely over 130. So like let's say Lan Hoda is 130, and then Lan Seismic Slam is like 133, and then so it's just barely better than Seismic Slam. Seismic Slam is barely better than Hoda, and then you have Whirlwind is like probably 140 viable as of right now, right? Things can change. It's Tuesday. The PTR ends on Thursday. I'm assuming they'll give us an update either Friday or like the following week, and then we'll get to see, and then I'll talk about it and kind of predict what they'll be from there. I would say Seismic Slam could use another 150 on the weapon, even though I said it's really good. And I would say Whirlwind could, maybe get knocked down just a little bit. But either way, I'm happy with overall where the Barb is. And then Lan Hoda could get just like a little buff as well, like a 1 to 200 multiplier buff to bring it just a solid, bring it more in line with that 130 clear without a lot egregious amount of Paragon. Sorry if I'm talking fast. I'm really having fun with Barbs, and it's been really shocking how good Hoda's performing and how good Seismic Slam was. Coming off of Whirlwind, I didn't think any of the other builds would even matter, but they're super relevant and they're very fun to play. You guys, I encourage you to check out my playlist. I'll put it in the description. As of right now, I'll probably just run like a 3 Barb speed Paragon meta. I know Lexi has been doing that on stream. I think Adam as well. So I'll probably hook up with them and see what's going on. Rax has been doing that. So I'll probably hook up with them. I haven't actually tested any group play. So maybe today on stream, that's what I have to do is see what they're doing. I know they're doing 3 Barbs and a Monk. And I would love to have a 3 Barb and a Monk season. I'm pretty happy just running like speed 119s and getting my Paragon up, getting my augments. And then I focus on solo pushing from there. So I fully expect to get to like 130 solo so I can get my own gems up, but I need my Paragon from playing with others. So I'll probably be doing speed 119s all season long or something like that. And then I'll just push myself to get my gems up and get my augments up. And that should be good from there. I'll probably main Barb, and I'm thinking Whirlwind, Seismic Slam, or Lon Hoda. It just depends what I fall in love with more. To be honest, I like Seismic Slam the most. That extra attack speed feels so sweet, man. If you watch the video, you could hear it in my voice. I was having so much fun with that build. So we'll see how it goes, though. If I get some primal weapons, it might tilt me one way or the other. Or, you know me, I like non-meta stuff, so I'll probably play, everything. I'll probably have everything built and some other things that we haven't even thought of, and just see how it goes. I might even do that for hardcore. Maybe well, it depends if the sets get buffed also. Like, I still want to play Monk on the YouTube Let's Play. It just depends if they fix it before it goes live. So the jury's out on what I'm going to main for YouTube, but for my actual softcore account, I'll probably play Barbarian 100%. Join you guys, join the Barbs. Overall, I think this is shaping up to be a really good season. I'm excited for the theme. I'm really excited for the Barb changes. And the new sets are very cool looking. They just need to be buffed to match their coolness. We're getting cosmetics. A lot of people wanted cosmetics. Those cosmetics are cool. The Hadrix gifts are really good. The Hadrix gifts are really strong this time around, like UE set, Whirlwind set, some really good ones, Tel Rasha. So it's a strong season for a lot of different Hadrix. I think only Monk has a weak Hadrix. All the other ones are solid, like Roland as well. Hope you guys are excited. One of the most popular questions I get on stream is, yo, Blood, yo, Blood. Yo, Blood, when is the season going to start, man? So we don't know when the season's going to start. As of right now, Blizzard has not told us. But my guess is, all right, I've said this before, it usually takes 30 to 40 days after the PTR expires for them to upload it, to change it, and then send it to the Switch, send it to Xbox, PlayStation, the Mac. They have to get it approved at all these different platforms, and then the season can go live. So I'm thinking November 29th or December 6th. So, about over a month from now, which makes sense, right? The PTR is going to end on Thursday. So it's the 21st. Let's go back up here. So the PTR is going to end on Thursday, which is the 24th. So a month later would be November 24th, I guess, just as a rough example. And that Friday is the 29th. And that's the day after Thanksgiving. If it's too close to the holiday and all that stuff, then maybe December 6th would be better. We have had early December launches, I believe, in the past. But yeah, that's my guess. So hopefully it's December 6th. I'd be happy with that. Or even, like I said, after Thanksgiving, unless you guys have Black Friday shopping. Well, I guess you can go in the morning, right? I guess you can go in the It'd be a North American Thanksgiving because I know Canada already had theirs as well. All right. It's time for the rumor mill. We had crazy kind of leak for Diablo 4, and it is 100% guaranteed to be true. And I really don't want to start another hype train. That's why you're not going to see a dedicated video on this topic from me, but it looks pretty legit. I have to be honest, okay? It's a Art of Diablo book. They usually release a book a year before BlizzCon, so we're pretty used to these kind of things. And it's in German, and it's on Amazon, and it basically says, featuring over 500 artwork from Diablo, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, and Diablo 4. This book features many noteworthy artworks created for Blizzard Entertainment and its iconic role-playing game that has given generations of fans nightmares. So it looks legit, dude. This picture looks like it's completely, I mean, things can get photoshopped and all that stuff, but it looks super legit. And you know what I mean? It does look like a possible Diablo 4 confirmation. Or like maybe there'll just be a teaser at BlizzCon, and that's why it's referring to this book, because then at the time the book comes out, we would know already about Diablo 4. It's pretty strong evidence, but I'm still curbing my expectations. I do not want to get, fake hype again, all right? This hype train needs to relax. We need to just go on the easy track for a while. There was also another prediction. This guy tweeted out a bunch of stuff last year on Twitter about like, hey, Ashe is going to be the new hero in Overwatch and this and that, and there's not going to be any Diablo 3, and now Diablo's going to release a mobile game. He tweeted out a bunch of stuff, and this dude was right. Like everything he tweeted out basically came true, and he was tweeting out that we're going to get Diablo 2 remastered and Diablo 4 announced at BlizzCon, which these are all really popular things that we've been thinking, but he was right last year, and he said he has the same inside source this year. So yeah, I'll try to get all this information in the description for you guys, but it looks pretty strong evidence that we're going to get D4. But again, I know one thing for sure. They promised us Diablo 3 content, and we've been getting it. We got 2 new sets this season, so I'm just going to focus on that, but it's my kind of duty to mention it, and it looks pretty hype, I guess. I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast before, but it is confirmed. I will be streaming from BlizzCon this year. So if you have actually you don't need a virtual ticket to watch me on Twitch. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to be streaming though. They didn't tell me. They did basically say it's not Immortal though. So it won't be Diablo Immortal, and I don't really know what it is. I'll let you guys speculate. I honestly have no idea. I didn't know last time when I streamed up until like literally 2 minutes before I was going to go live. I was at the Switch booth and they're like, no, you're not streaming the Switch, over here. So I have no idea. They keep us in the dark pretty hard, but I will be at BlizzCon. So if you're there, come up, meet me, say hi and all that stuff. I want to meet you, man. I want to sign more shirts and hats and all that stuff. And I will be streaming. You can catch me live. I'll probably tell you my schedule as soon as I get it. I think I'll know next week my stream schedule. I think I'm probably going to stream the day of BlizzCon. So that Friday evening or midday, something like that. So in the morning, I'll be streaming from the hotel room, and then, we'll see if Diablo 4 gets announced, Diablo 2, we'll see what the Diablo wings look like maybe. And then I'll try to make a video and put it on YouTube, and then I'm going to go meet everybody, talk, and get ready to go live. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like the same day. So that'll be pretty hype. So I'm really excited. It's literally like 9 days from now when you're listening to this podcast. It's this final countdown right around the corner, and I'm really excited about that. I actually did get a setup in case I do make videos on Immortal. Like if I do a Let's Play, I did figure out how to stream from like my phone or whatever. And I'm basically, if you guys want to know my thoughts on Immortal, I'm basically going to boycott the game until they announce D4. Because I want to be fed. I want my main game coming. And if they give us D4, then they can give us whatever. I always say they can give us whatever we want, man. You can make a freaking Diablo candles, Diablo bath set, a freaking whatever. It doesn't really matter at that point. As long as you feed your core audience, then you can make whatever you want. So I did figure out how to do it in case I do end up doing a Let's Play. So you will see that on our main YouTube channel. As long as, there's a green light for D4 and there's a green light for Immortal, I guess, for me. And yeah, it'll be fun to kind of see like the story. It's technically canon, right? It's like the creation of the Demon Hunters and all that stuff. That'll give us more stuff to talk about in the podcast for the lore corner. Anyway, that's going to wrap up this episode. You'll probably see this episode and the Hoda video today. So check that out if you didn't watch it. Shout out to all the patrons out there, always supporting us, man. We got so many patrons through the good times and the bad. I really appreciate you guys coming through. We got a new patron. His name is Aaron. So Aaron, thank you so much. I also have a second YouTube channel, I went ahead and made that. I've been putting my Pokemon Let's Play on there, Dead by Daylight highlights, and I'm gonna just put whatever I want. It's just like my whatever. The junk drawer of Blood's creativity is gonna go on the second channel, so I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to follow me over there. If you want some more Blood gameplay, right? If you like the podcast, if you can leave a review on whatever platform you watch it on, I'd appreciate that. It gives us more exposure. That's going to be all for me today. This is the Bluddshed, and I'm out of here. Peace.